Hello, Nancy. How are you?
Hi, Ashley. How are you? I'm doing good. How are you?
I am also doing very well. I see we have some folks. Oh, look, we've got already. It's like you all already knew that I was going to ask to tell where you're tuning in from today. We have folks in Iowa and
That's
Mexico
awesome.
and Texas and New Hampshire. Would love to know, audience, if you can see us and hear us okay. We want to make sure that you're able to soak up all of Nancy's brilliant wisdom today. Um,
Yes, please.
so, yeah, so let us know. My name is Ashley. I'm with the Discover team at Teachable, and I'm very excited to have today's guest with us for
Thank you.
several reasons. One, I used to work at Etsy,
Oh,
and
wow. How do you know
it's
that?
yeah, it's been a while now. Is I don't know, I guess maybe about 5 or 6 years ago,
Oh,
um,
okay.
and I love the company. I love how much we got to engage with sellers and creators and folks who wanted to make a living making what they love. So it's
That's
definitely,
awesome.
yeah, definitely a company that I'm a big fan of, and I have seen your marketplace and really love the work that you're doing, Nancy.
No,
So
thank you.
excited to share your wisdom with our crew here. And look at this very geographically diverse area. We got Dubai in
Oh
the
my
house,
God, yes.
Naomi, Nigeria.
Nigeria, yeah.
Okay,
All over the
love
world. I
it.
love it.
Yes,
I
we have
love
some
it.
different time zones represented.
Exactly.
Um, so, our for those of you who don't yet know, our guest today is Nancy Badillo, who is a 5 year now Etsy seller, I think, maybe a little bit more than that. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm an Etsy coach and an Etsy seller as well.
And a
Both.
coach, um, somebody who has learned a lot of lessons selling on the platform,
Mhm. Yes.
understood a lot of the pain points that folks mention. Specifically, this is one that I've heard as well, feeling
Excuse
like
me.
the market, the oh yeah, get you some water,
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna get a cough drop and I'll be right back.
go right ahead. Um, so those of you who are here, I know one of the things that Nancy works on is if you have that feeling that maybe the market might be saturated or it might be challenging to find your own niche to sell what it is that you're making or crafting or anything like that. And Nancy's got some advice for how to kind of navigate that. So while she's getting in the zone, let's
Yes, this is what
let's
happens when you have a toddler and he gets you sick. You get sick every time he gets sick. I get sick.
yeah, it's true. You gotta be extra careful with those toddlers, right?
I'm
Uh,
telling you.
So before I turn it over to Nancy, just a few little housekeeping notes. We will have a replay available of this session. So if you miss bits and pieces the first time around, don't fret. You'll be able to access the whole thing. I will also be monitoring the comments throughout the session. So if you have questions that you want to bring up for the good of the order, or if you have something that you want to ask Nancy, feel free to drop that in the comments and I can let her know. And we'll make
Yes,
sure to
please.
discuss it before the end of today's session. Um, and finally, the course that Nancy has on the Teachable platform, there's a link that is pinned to the top of the YouTube page. So just, right there. And I'll also be dropping links in the chat as well, so you can access it directly from there. Um, Other than that, excited to have our Etsy seller, Etsy coach extraordinaire,
Oh,
Nancy Badillo. Over to you, my friend.
thank you. Thank you so much. Guys, I do apologize for my raspy voice. About 2 days ago, I couldn't even talk. So I'm surprised I could talk today. My son got me sick, and it's been like a long, like 4 days of coughing, you know what? So coughing up my lungs. So let's go ahead and get started. I value everyone's time, and it's such a pleasure to meet everyone here. So today's workshop is going to be on the 4-step framework for a profitable Etsy shop. And for those that don't know me, my name is Nancy. It's great to meet you guys. And basically, I help Etsy sellers turn their passions into profits. I started my Etsy coaching about 4 years ago, but I've been in the digital space for 11 years. I've been around in a while. And I'm going to be your workshop host today. You are in the right place if you feel like any of these. Like you feel like your existing Etsy shop has incredible potential to grow, but you haven't figured out how to do it and you're struggling with getting traffic and consistent sales. Or maybe you want to open an Etsy shop, right? But feel like the market is too saturated with products to make a real income as a seller on Etsy. Or maybe you're tired of wasting time, money, and energy on methods that give you zero results. So, my promise to you today is that I'm going to deliver, even with a raspy voice, as much value as humanly possible in this free 60-minute workshop. Nothing I will teach today is based on theory, and everything you will learn has already been tested and proven to work by me and my students. Now, in return, I ask you that, you keep an open mind about the new information you're going to learn today. Make sure that you take plenty of notes because I am going to give you a lot of information. So that way you can start taking steps after this workshop and implementing what you learn. And tips for watching the workshop, get in a quiet room, turn off your phone so that you could devote your full attention to the workshop. You work hard, and I want you to treat yourself to 60 minutes of focus learning. Make sure you close your tabs, any extra apps to increase bandwidth. And during this workshop, like Ashley said, I'm going to be talking about 3 of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to starting an Etsy shop. I'm going to go over the 4-step framework for creating a profitable shop. And at the end, I'm going to have an overview of my Etsy mastery course. And once I finish that, if you guys have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer your questions as well. So I am a mom, a wife, and when I'm not helping people scaling their Etsy business to the next level, I could probably be found with my fun, energetic toddler, Jordan. And my story, to kind of give you a little bit of a background, I started Etsy back in 2016, and all I had was an idea. I started my career as a digital marketing specialist 11 years ago. So when I started Etsy, I had no prior experience creating any printables, any handmade items. I didn't have experience using graphic design softwares. And in 2014, I got engaged to my amazing husband, Cornelius. And one of my friends told me, you need to shop on Etsy for personalized, like handmade items for wedding. And I remember, it was my first time hearing about Etsy. I've never heard of them before. So I was curious to learn more about this e-commerce platform where you could buy customized items. And like I said, I've never heard of them before. I remember going to Etsy, typing in on the search feed, like do it yourself wedding invite, and tons of beautiful invites showed up on my feed. And I started browsing through the different shops and noticed that many of these shops were selling like art printables and like do it yourself, like invites, signs, matching items. And due to the nature of me being an online marketer, right? So a digital marketer is someone that uses blogging, social media, branding to grow businesses. That's what I was doing online. And because I was an online marketer, I noticed, right, that many of these shops are making good living off passive income. So I ended up buying a do-it-yourself invite, a sitting chart, a couple other signs for my wedding, and I spent about $65 and had my files instantly. And I thought to myself, wow, this person just made $65 and really didn't do any work because these were do-it-yourself items, right? Meaning, I'm not saying they didn't do work because they had to create the item, they had to market themselves, they had to create all these beautiful things that they sold me. But what I mean by that is once I buy the item, I am the one that's going to personalize it, edit it, put my information on it, put my husband's information, put where the wedding is at. I'm going to take it to Kinko's or Staples. I'm going to print it out myself. They're not doing anything after they sell it to me. I thought that's like the best business you could have. There's no shipping involved. You just create the item once and you can sell over and over and over. So, as a digital marketing specialist, I was already trying to do different things online to make money online. So, I decided just to do a case study for my blog and I started my own Etsy store. The problem was that when I started my Etsy store, I wasn't as creative as other people. I've never knitted anything, I've never created anything by handmade. So the easiest thing for me was let me go into the digital world. And I created in Word document. This is how bad I was. I went to a Word document. I typed in a quote like this one right here you see in the computer. This girl's on fire. I saved that as a PDF and then I sold that to people. And I couldn't believe that people were buying this from me. I had no design on it. It was just black and white, just text only. And people were buying from my store. And my first month, I made about $102. This is without having any experience making handmade items and not even having a creative eye, meaning that a lot of my designs look horrible. But I was intrigued by it. I was like, this could be another stream of income that I make online. So in my first 6 months of Etsy journey, I made tons of mistakes. And the biggest mistake was risking my store getting shut down because I was using copyright quotes. I was using quotes from movies, from Seinfeld, from TV shows that I like, from songs that I like. And I really didn't understand the licensing of using fonts. I didn't understand how to identify my unique selling proposition, how to stand out in a saturated market and make my product a no brainer for the prospective buyer to choose my products over others. I technically was using copyright quotes because I saw everyone else sell it on Etsy and I thought, oh, it's okay until I got several, and I'm not talking about one or two. I mean, it had to be like five or probably more infringement notices from Etsy. That's when I started learning. I took them serious. I started learning all about intellectual property and decided to go a different route. So after countless hours, I mean, promoting my store out of Etsy, creating an Instagram, a Pinterest account, a Facebook group, I started all over again. I already had over 1,000 listings, and it was easy to create 1,000 listings because all I was doing was taking lines of movies or songs and just creating a PDF. So I could do like 20 a day. That's easy to do. So after doing all of this work, you can imagine this was my breaking point. I had to start all over again. And around January of 2017, I changed my whole strategy when it came to selling on Etsy. I decided to change my niche to the wedding niche. And I always had a passion for the wedding industry. I thought it would be fun to create wedding printables. And this time around, I made sure that I did things differently. I made sure that this was a profitable niche market by validating my product ideas, seeing there was a market need for them, making sure that I took it one step further by making my products unique and different from everyone else, and making my products obvious, different, and memorable enough that when people see what I have to offer, they cannot, get it elsewhere. They know, okay, I can't get the design elsewhere. So basically making it a no-brainer to buy from me. So the biggest mistake that many Etsy sellers make, including myself, is trying to wing it by adding all sorts of different products, hoping they build a successful store without having a passion for the products or not validating the product ideas and seeing that there's a demand for it and not understanding whom they're serving and making the same products like others and not standing out from the competitors. And I made this mistake myself as well. But when I focus on my unique selling proposition, this is what happened. My income doubled every month after that. I was able to increase my prices from like $5 to $5 to $40. It was a massive changer for me because I actually ended up creating a robust line of products for my wedding printables. So The wedding invitation goes with the sitting chart, the table number, the thank you tags, etc. And I also started selling personalized items, which increased my earnings drastically by charging extra, which helped me make a bit over 21,000 my first year on Etsy. And then in my second year, I opened another shop selling party printables. I followed the same formula and I was able to triple my income. So that's my story. It's pretty incredible to say that you can make an extra 20,000 in the next year, or just even an extra 10,000. Imagine the possibilities. Think about that for a minute. Like, how could that change your life? Maybe is paying off your debt. I just went debt free about maybe 4 months ago, maybe a little less than 4 months, 3 months ago. Maybe is save money for a family vacation. Maybe is stop living paycheck to paycheck, right? Maybe is being able to spend more time with your family. Or maybe it's to quit your day job so you could do this as a full-time job, do something that you're passionate about, that rewards you in a different way, and you still have time for your family. So now that you kind of have a background of how I got started and my expertise from the last 11 years, I wanted to talk about 3 of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to starting an Etsy business. And what's great about these 3 that I'm about to talk about, you could apply this for any business, whether you want to sell on Etsy, on Shopify, on your own website. What you're going to learn now, you could definitely apply to any business that you start. So the first one is the market is too saturated with products to make a real income as a seller on Etsy. This is one of the top questions that I get all the time. And the most common mistake many Etsy sellers make is not making unique products and making it harder to stand out in a saturated market. So you ultimately blend in with other sellers. And everybody wants to start a business, especially after COVID, especially after these trying times that people have lost their jobs. So you need to offer a unique product that makes it a no-brainer for the prospective buyer to purchase from you. This is where the unique selling proposition comes in place that we talked about a few minutes ago. Misconception number 2 is if I add, this is what I did, all random products to my shop, I will finally start getting sales. And you might get some sales, obviously, because obviously sometimes the more products you add, the more keywords, the more traffic you're reaching. But that doesn't build a sustainable business. That's the main thing about that. So the biggest mistake is trying to wing it by adding all sorts of different products into your shop, thinking the more products, the more sales they will get. So if you're not understanding who is your ideal customer, what does your ideal customer want, what differentiates them from, what differentiates you from the competitors, it ultimately leaves them, like these Etsy sellers, wondering why they're not getting any sales or growing on Etsy. It's really important that you focus on your target audience and create products catered to them. This is how you build a sustainable business that when you create another product, those same people, you will have customer retention, people that will want to buy again from you. And then you will be able also to acquire new leads. That's how you build sustainable business versus just adding a whole bunch of things and hoping the more things I add, if I add a keychain, a t-shirt, a printable, a journal, the more sales I would get. That ultimately confuses your target audience. And unfortunately, it won't help you grow a sustainable business. You might get more sales here, and you might get some sales here and there, but in the long run, it won't help you build a sustainable business. And misconception number 3 is, this is for people that have Etsy stores. I get a lot of shop business and favors, but they're not translating in sales. Etsy might not be the right platform for me, or my products might not be good enough. I get this all the time. And the main reason why those shop business are not translating into actual sales is that prospective buyers are overwhelmed with so many options. You want to focus on making unique products that are different and memorable enough that they could see that what you have to offer, they cannot get elsewhere. And when you have something that's unique, 1, you could charge more, you could charge premium prices. And 2, people will buy from you regardless if they're free shipping or not, regardless if you have one review or 100 reviews. Obviously, those things do help, right? Reviews do help, shipping helps. But if you have something that they really want, they will buy from you. So, making it, again, a no brainer to buy from you. So, if you want to start making money, you need a profitable framework in place. And within 1 year, like I said, in my first year, I made 21,000 on Etsy. And I did that the first year with no Etsy ads, no Facebook ads, by just having a unique selling proposition, niching down, serving my ideal customer. And I also use social media. So I expanded my digital footprint with social media. And you may be thinking, I don't even know where to start. Well, don't worry, because that's where my 4-step framework for a profitable Etsy shop comes into place. And I'm going to go over that with you. The bottom line is that you have a big opportunity to build an Etsy business, or if you currently have one, to kind of scale your business to the next level. There's just some things that you might have to fix throughout your store. Or if you're just starting out, there are some things that you have to stay focused on, because it's so easy to get distracted by trying to do everything. But you won't make any money without a strategy in place. That's the number one thing that you need in order to be successful as a business owner. So let's go over my 4-step framework for a profitable Etsy shop. So we're going to be talking about audience. So who do you want to attract? Without this, you're not ready to make money, because you need to know who your audience is first. You need to learn how to optimize your shop for higher conversion rates, and how to optimize your listings for SEO to take advantage of Etsy's built-in traffic, and also Google, amongst other large search engines. You need to learn how to drive additional traffic. The one that I recommend is Pinterest, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. And then we'll talk about how to convert that traffic, the traffic that you're getting from Etsy's built-in traffic, from Google, and from Pinterest or any other platform that you're using to drive traffic back to your store. How do you convert those people that are not ready to buy, so you could remarket to them at a later time? If you follow this 4-step framework and you do it all the time, and you put systems in place, it's going to be so much easier to grow a business the right way. And you can use this framework, like I said, not only on Etsy, but on your Shopify, on in the future, if you want to open a website and transfer there, or have an Etsy and a website, etc. So the first one is audience. Who is your ideal customer? And this is someone with a problem your product or service is designed to solve. So you really need to dive in and understand this. So when niching down, ask yourself the following questions. What problem does my potential customer have? What's the solution to that problem? And why people would pay money for my product? These are 3 things that if somebody asked you, you should be able to answer. So these are 3 things that you should take a screenshot of right now. Maybe take a screenshot, or take a photo with your phone, or write them down. But these are really, really important when you're niching down. Now, you could probably sell your product or service to a lot of different people, but to make money, you need to pick one. Don't get lost in the noise. I know it's a lot easier said than done. I've been there. Consumers right now are overwhelmed with options. And, they want to quickly understand what makes one product or brand different than others. So knowing the right way to position yourself and your products can be the difference between you standing out and blending in. So understanding who your audience is and creating products for them. And it's important to define your brand and have a solid, unique selling proposition. So a strong, unique selling proposition lets you stand apart from competitors and actively focus your energy on creating things that cater to your ideal group of customers. So your unique selling proposition plays to your strength and should be based on what makes your product or services uniquely valuable for customers. That's how you kind of use your unique selling proposition. Step number 2 for the framework is optimizing. So offering something unique and irresistible is the first step in drawing in the shoppers, right? So creating a product that is for a specific audience, that you know that's going to solve a problem, that you know no one else is making better than you are. Now is optimizing. So there's many contributing factors that affect your search placement in the feed. So understanding how X's algorithm works are really important because it determines where your listing will rank in the search feed. So you want to make sure that your shop and listings are optimized for SEO so prospective buyers can find your products. But you also want your buyers to have an amazing experience when they shop and buy from you. So it's not just, oh, my shop is optimized and I have great photos. You have to make sure that that you're getting good reviews, that you have your about me section completed, that you have your shop policies completed as well. This all helps you in your placement in the search results. Etsy has something called the customer market experience, and they say in their handbook that if we don't have our shop policies filled out and we don't have our about me section filled out, they do reduce your visibility of your store. And the reason why is because Etsy's priority is to make sure that every seller that sells on their platform, when people go to your store, it looks complete. It looks like a store. It doesn't look like, okay, there's not a profile picture, there's no banner, there's missing information, it looks incomplete. They don't want that. So you want to make sure that focus on these little things that are going to help you to have higher conversions. So I wanted to give you guys some Etsy SEO best practices when optimizing your listings. So for Etsy SEO, Etsy looks at 4 criteria. They look at your title and tags. They look at your attributes and your categories. These are the 4 places that Etsy looks for keywords to match your products when people do a search on the search feed. So title and tag relevancy, exact phrases matches are stronger than matches on individual words. So for instance, words or phrases that appear in both the title and tag of listings are considered more relevant than a listing with that word or phrase in the title or title alone. What that means is that whatever keywords you put in your title, they need to also be in your tags. You need to have, that's why it's called title and tag relevancy. And this is an Etsy SEO best practice that Etsy wants us to do in order for you to rank higher in the feed. Another thing that you should be focusing on is using long tail keywords. They are less competitive, better targeted traffic, they have higher conversion rates, and they're great for highly competitive niches. Now, if the tag is longer than 20 characters, because you only have a threshold of 20 characters, then you break the tag into 2 or 3 tags. Another thing to keep in mind is recency. Etsy's algorithm reviews how recent an item was listed or relisted. So if you have to fix SEO on the old listing, let's say you have a listing that's not working for you, you're going to do some changes on it. What you want to do is you want to duplicate that listing. You want to go ahead and fix whatever you're fixing, your photos, your title, your tags. Maybe you add in a little bit more in your description. Once you do that, you publish it as a new listing. This will give you a small boost in the search feed since it's considered a new listing. And you will have a better chance of getting a higher listing quality score. And the boost could last, and this is based on Etsy, a few hours to a few days. And this is something important to understand. It doesn't mean that you have to renew listings all the time. Some people say that, like you should renew listings all the time. I think that gets old it gets old pretty quickly. It doesn't really help you build sustainable business, but does it help you when you fix a listing, you duplicate it, and then publish it as a new one? Yes, because now you could potentially rank higher because it's considered a new listing. So Etsy is going to push it out a little bit more. But don't use it in the sense that you're going to be doing this all the time and hoping that that's the only strategy to make sales. Because a lot of people give that advice, and I honestly don't think that's good advice. I think if you're going to fix a listing, duplicate it and fix it. But a better sustainable business is to build something the right way. Another thing is, these are all things that you should consider for your Etsy SEO. So the listing title, It helps you find, it helps Etsy find your products in the Etsy search results and Google. The most important tag should be in the beginning of your title. It holds the most weight for SEO. Also, keep in mind the first 100, I think it's 155 characters of your listing description will be used for your meta description. And what that means is that you need to include the same keyword that you put in your title in the beginning, also on your meta description. And this is a snippet shown to people when they search for your products on Google. One of the things that I do in my course, whenever I'm teaching workshops like these, is that I try to teach people how to optimize their store, not only for Etsy, but also for Google, because your listings show up in both platforms. So you want to make sure that you're optimizing it correctly so you could amplify your reach and drive more traffic back to your store. So this is one of those requirements that will help you drive more traffic from Google and other large search engines like Yahoo, Bing, etc. In addition to what we just mentioned, include your tags as naturally as possible in your actual description, your listing description, because Google does not like keyword stuffing, but they do use the keywords in there to rank you on Google and other large search engines. So when you're writing your description, make sure that you organically place your tags in there. So many people don't do this and they miss opportunity of driving more traffic back to their store. In addition to that, increase your conversion rate for each listing by adding as much relevant content on your listing and shop page as possible. And in the last section right here, also make sure that you're choosing the right category and attributes for Etsy SEO since they're matched with prospective buyer search query. So when we started this slide about optimizing, I said Etsy looks at your title and tags, attributes, and categories. One really cool tip is if you use a category or an attribute, like a specific keyword, do not repeat that keyword in your tags because categories and attributes do act like tags. So you will be missing out on an additional tag that you could use. So these are different ways that you could optimize your listing for higher conversions. Now, Etsy SEO should absolutely be a part of your marketing plan, but not the entirety of it. So a lot of people, they do Etsy SEO and that's all they do. As a business owner, you are responsible to make sure that, yes, you take advantage of the building traffic. That's why many people start an Etsy business because they don't have an audience. They don't have an email list. They don't have a YouTube channel. They don't have anything online. And it's the best way to start a business because you could take advantage of Etsy's built-in traffic. But over time, as you start growing your business, you cannot just depend on Etsy SEO or just on SEO regularly. You have to make sure that you start expanding your business and basically brand awareness, right? Making sure people start recognizing your brand by using other methods. And what I recommend is social media. I I've been able to grow my business because of social media by having, YouTube, by having a Pinterest account that reaches 1 million monthly views, by having, a YouTube channel that has 74,000 members, by having a Facebook group with 70,000 members. It helps me grow my business and it helps me have my brand and expand my brand and keep my brand in their mind, in customers' mind. They see me all the time. And it's something that I call the ecosystem. And I'll talk about that in a few minutes. But what I recommend when you are first starting out a business, you are going to feel a little bit overwhelmed when you say, okay, I got to do Facebook, I got to do Pinterest, I got to do Instagram. It's so many things I have to do. What I recommend is start with one platform, master that platform, and then move on to another one. That's going to be the best bet because there's no point of you using 10 platforms and all of them you're using them wrong. You're not optimizing it correctly. You don't understand how they work. You don't understand how Instagram's algorithm works versus Pinterest because Pinterest is a search engine. You're not really, you're just pinning or you're just posting, but no results. You're not getting results. So learn how to master one platform and then move on to the next one. The one that I recommend is Pinterest. If you want to dominate on your niche, become an authority, Pinterest is the place to be. I'm sure many of you guys have heard of Pinterest over and over and over. People saying, talking about it. Um, Pinterest make it easy to drive traffic back to your Etsy shop, increase conversions, grow your email list when you use Pinterest the correct way. And you could see results right away. Unlike other platforms, you have to pay to play or you have to crack the algorithm. Like Instagram is one of those that it takes a little bit longer to kind of grow that social community where now people are going back to your business. But with Pinterest is right away. Like you can see results within like 2 weeks of pinning consistently and knowing what you're doing. And this is the reason why I recommend Pinterest. And here are the real reasons why you're not growing on Pinterest. If you're currently using it, I wanted to make sure that this workshop has a lot of tips, a lot of value. And this is the reason why I wanted to talk about this. The number one mistake you can make on Pinterest is not having a focused niche and leaving people confused on what exactly you offer. So if you're not focused on building your brand, having a niche, you will attract the wrong audience and show your products and services to people who are not really interested in what you're selling. So if you don't attract the right audience, then you're just another Pinterest user, right? You're just pinning and nothing's really happening. So that's one of the reasons why you're not focusing on your niche. You're all over the place. You're pinning everything and anything. You want to make sure that your Pinterest account is optimized for your business. That if your business is about t-shirts, that's all you pin. You're not pinning cute puppies or you're not pinning, oh, I love that house, let me repin it. You're not doing that. You're just sticking straight with your niche. Another thing is you don't provide value. So stop focusing on so much on growing your business, even though we want to grow our business, but you got to start providing more value through your products and services. And there's no easier way to grow your customer base than providing value. And then having your customers promote your brand for you. This happens to me all the time. I get so many referrals. I don't even know these people, and they send me referrals, and I'm so thankful. Another one is you don't know how to convert your followers into sales. So you're not creating the proper content that will get you noticed, get clicks and repins that eventually turns into sales and help you grow your email list. So again, stop being all over the place. Focus on your brand to become an authority within your niche, which helps you stand out from your competitors and turn visitors into actual customers. And this is another one. You make the mistake of treating Pinterest as a social media platform. And this is a huge mistake because Pinterest is not another social media platform. It is considered social media, but Pinterest is a search engine. So you're not optimizing your Pinterest account nor content for SEO. There's so many people in my students that started with my Pinterest course and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know that you have to put keywords in your bio, in your titles, in your pin description, in the actual pin, like naming your file name of the pin, a keyword that you want to rank for." These are things that a lot of people don't know. And that's the reason why when they use Pinterest, they're not getting the results that they want because they're not optimizing it correctly for SEO. And I wanted to kind of walk you guys through the buyer's journey. And this is really important. This is one of those things that if you're selling online, you should know this or you should learn this. And it's just understanding the buyer's purchase journey. And there's three of them. And I'm going to walk you through them to kind of give you an idea of what they mean. So stage one is the awareness stage. The potential buyer is merely experiencing the symptoms of a problem and trying to put a name to it. At this stage, they don't know who you are or that you could provide a solution to their problem. They're just simply trying to figure out what is their problem and trying to find some solution. Stage two is evaluate. The potential buyer knows their problem. It starts to research. Let's say my audience will be an Etsy seller. They've been selling on Etsy now for 3 months. They're not making sales. So they know their problem is I'm not making sales. So as an Etsy seller, right? or me as a coach, is my job to provide content that is focused on the solution. So you want them to be researching for a solution to their problem, and they come across your Pinterest content and think of you as an expert in that niche. So I want someone to search how to get sales on Etsy. They see my pin, they're like, this is what I need. They click on it, they read my blog article, or maybe they go to a video that I made, and now they consume my content. And with time, they start thinking she is an expert in this niche. Now, a lot of people always tell me, well, this is easy for you because you're an Etsy coach. How about if I sell bracelets? What problem do I solve if I sell, bracelets? This is why you have to understand who your target audience is, what problem you solve. Because when you understand those things that we talked about in the beginning, this part is easy. So if you sell, let's say, anxiety bracelets, you could create content on Pinterest that is about anxiety, how to reduce your anxiety with these 5 bracelets, with these 5 top anxiety bracelets. That's the content that you want to pin on Pinterest. Yes, you want to promote your bracelets. That's fine. But you also want to make sure that you're creating content that people are searching for. So when somebody types in how to deal with anxiety, and your pin shows up and it says the top 10 bracelets to deal with anxiety, they might click on it and become a prospective buyer. So that's how you become like an expert in a specific niche. Or maybe you sell jewelry for confidence, right? Some people sell jewelry. You got to really think about why some people wear jewelry, why some people don't. I barely wear jewelry. Some people do. They love how they feel with jewelry, or they feel confident. So maybe your pins will be how to feel confident with these beautiful jewelry or with these statement pieces, right? You got to really think about who you're trying to target and create content focused on their solution. Stage 3 is purchase. In the final stage, the buyer has identified, his issue, has researched different company. They have looked at different products, at different services that can help him. Now his final decision is making a decision with whom they want to purchase. So if you have successfully marketed yourself in the early stages, when they're in the awareness stage and the evaluate stage, then you have a great chance of closing the sale. You might outbeat your competitor. So keep in mind that to boost your Pinterest account's visibility in the search results, tell Pinterest who you are, what you do. Like I said, don't forget to name your boards to reflect phrases that people are searching for. You could add long tail keywords. Make sure that you also add these keywords in your description of your pin. So you want to make sure that you're niching down, you're optimizing for SEO, and you're making content that's mobile, more search friendly, content that people are searching for that solves a specific problem. So that's how you do it. A lot of people, what they do is they sell, but they forget to provide value. By you creating content that solves a solution, that's value. That's something that they're looking for. Hopefully they'll start, looking at your posts, your Pinterest pins, whatever you're offering, whatever services you're offering. Eventually they'll make a decision to buy from you. And the fourth tip I have for you in the 4-step framework is convert. So in business, there are 3 fundamental strategies to grow and survive: generate new leads, converting more leads into sales, and retaining customers by encouraging them to continue doing business for life. A lot of people get a lead and they go to the next lead. They forget about the current customers they have. It's really important that you focus on retention, that you make these customers long time customers, that they're going to do business with you. And that's why email marketing is really important. So the final step in the framework is figuring out how to convert the traffic you're getting from Etsy SEO, Google, Pinterest, and any other platform you're using to promote your shop. So if you did the work, then you should have a unique product that people want to buy. However, what happens to the people that are not ready to buy, right? Because I could drive 200 people to my Etsy store and I wish all 200 people daily purchase. That's everyone's dream. But it doesn't happen that way. So what happens to the people that go to your store, you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, you have a unique product, you have your store optimized the correct way, you have a niche down, you have the best description, but they're not buying or they're not ready to buy yet. You want to make sure that you have systems in place and you want to start an email list. And you could choose your own email provider from Etsy's approved partners. They actually work with AppWeber currently at the moment. What I recommend is creating a lead magnet where you offer something that of value, or you offer an incentive to your target audience for the exchange of their email. So you could offer a discount or you could offer something for free if you can. So if you're in the wedding industry, you could do like a little PDF checklist of all the things you need to do or how to organize your wedding day. Something simple like that that person finds value in, that you could offer for free for the exchange of the email. And what you want to do is you want to add your lead magnet to your banner, to your listing photos, to your About Me section, and anywhere else that you promote your business. And you could just add a little picture where you say, link in description, or you could do a QR code. You could create a QR code with that when the people scan it with their camera, it takes them to that actual landing page where they could opt in for that freebie or for that discount. It's so easy nowadays to be creative with it. It's something that you would do on every single listing. It's a system in place that you would just put, and either people join or they don't join, right? But it's just having it and promoting it. And this is like my smaller store that I use for tutorials, that I use just to have out in the open. And I have my free art printable guide in the banner, and I have the link there. I actually have this Etsy picture here that I put on my listings. And then sometimes, depending on the customer, if we're talking about printables or they purchase something from me, I also have a signature where it says, PS, join my email list to stay updated with the new products and occasional freebies by clicking here. And then I have the link there. These are different things that you could do. As long as the customer is opting in, you are good to go. But you want to make sure that the people that don't buy at that current moment, that you're capturing their email. So later on, you could nurture that lead, build a relationship with them, and then remarket to them. And this is how you make sales on a consistent basis, because now you have an email list. In the future, if you decide I'm going to sell on my own website, or I'm going to keep Etsy, but I want to open a Shopify store, you have customers that you could say, hey, by the way, here's our Shopify link. Or we move to our website. You have a list of customers. You don't have to start from scratch. It's so important that you do email marketing, because without it, it will be really, really hard to get consistent sales, or you're always going to be trying to like battle with, oh my God, I can't get enough sales, or I can't scale my business. With the email list, you'll be able to scale your business, because now you have customers that will buy your products because it's your target audience, and you could create more products catered to them and promote it to them, and also promote it to new people as well. So this framework is not just a bunch of theories. It has all been tested and proven to work by me and thousands of my students. So if you take one thing, I want you to know that you could scale your Etsy shop by creating a unique selling proposition that makes your product irresistible to your target audience. And I have developed this 4-step framework that makes it easy to create your very own successful Etsy shop. And I have outlined that system for you today. So the big question is, how can you apply this framework to your own Etsy shop and tap into the power of leveraging traffic back to your shop to increase sales? So what I wanted to offer you guys for a limited time, because we're doing a Teachable workshop, you have option one, which is, you could waste tons of time and effort trying to figure out everything by yourself, or you could fast track your results with my step-by-step program, the Etsy Mastery course. And I'm going to walk you through it really quickly because I want to get to the Q&A. I didn't want to spend the whole time just talking about what you get included, but I am going to give you a little bird's eye view of what you will learn in my proven program. And then I'm going to go ahead and take any Q&As that you guys have. So make sure to stick around to the end because you are going to get a huge bonus for attending this workshop. So my course is really different from other courses because I actually went overboard in my course. You get 9 courses basically for the price of one. I don't have no upsells. I should. I don't have no upsells. I don't have any tricks behind me like, oh, you buy this, now you got to buy this. So that's a great part for you guys. And what you get is the first 6 modules is how to start, manage, and scale your Etsy store. So this is great for anyone that has a current store and it really hasn't taken off and you want to like understand like what am I doing wrong? How do I niche down? How do I write niche statement? How do I find profitable products, etc. And this is great for anyone starting. You have no idea where to start, then this is great. So it's great for seasoned sellers. It's great for people that are just starting out. So module 1 is all about, how to find popular products, how to find the proper niche, how to find demand and validate your product. So it's 6 different tools that I recommend, and I show you how to do it, how to do market research on Etsy, what's trending daily on Etsy, how to build a strong brand, things that you need to do, how to think big from the beginning, like setting up your account the right way, what you need to know about being safe with design and licensing, and what you should know about fonts as well as other licensing, which I should have said their graphic design, which that's what I meant. Module number 2 is clarifying your offer. So why you need to micro niche. I give you examples of successful Etsy shops that have micro niche, how you find your micro niche, how to write a niche statement to propel your business, and examples of successful niche companies. Module 3 is creating a successful Etsy shop. So how to build a memorable Etsy shop so you could become an authority within your niche, how to brand your Etsy shop, different examples of branding elements, the most important branding element you need, examples of different types of shop icons that you need, why you need to have your own domain, and how it can help you be more professional and safe, and how to provide excellent customer service. That's like a whole video in itself that I talk about how to improve and tactics that I use. Module number 4 is for anyone that wants to do digital products. So if you're selling t-shirts, you could skip module 4. But if you want to learn how to make passive income with digital products, I actually have a whole module on that. So how to make art printables. I have 2 examples of different printables that you can make, how to add your fonts to your printables, how to create your art printable mockups so people start scrolling in the feed and take notice of your products, how to create high quality printables, how to create aspect ratios of your printables. I talk about margin, bleeds, crop marks, how to create a zip file, and much more. There's a lot more. This is just a snippet of what you get. In addition to this, I have a module that you guys get is a bonus course. It's 11 do-it-yourself digital products that you could create. And I'm actually going to increase that to about 50 products. Hopefully by the end of the year, I should have that there. But right now it's 11 products. Module 5 is probably the most important module, is Etsy SEO. You're going to learn how Etsy SEO works, the essentials of SEO, brainstorming, how to find profitable keywords, how to use all these amazing tools that I have for you guys to do keyword research, how to optimize your title and tags the right way, how to optimize your description, how to optimize your shop to get higher placement in the feed and Google, how Etsy's algorithm work, and much more. This is just a snippet again. Module 6 is how to manage and grow your shop. So how to list your listings on Etsy with an example, how to price your handmade items, and so you could profit as well, how to organize digital assets if you have some, how to persuade buyers to buy with you with simple strategies, how to improve the layout of your store, how to start an email list. And then I talk about 8 strategies to help you scale your Etsy business to the next level. So different strategies that you should be implementing in your store. So this is like the course, and it's a lot of videos, and you get support from me. And then you get bonus courses, which I will go through them as quickly as possible so we could get to the Q&A. Bonus number one is that you get a whole entire Pinterest course included. So it's 48 videos, and I teach you how to drive and explode traffic back to your Etsy store. You get an Instagram course, it's 21 videos as well, or 21, the other one's 48. You also get a whole year's worth of Instagram story prompts that is going to help you gain more visibility, warm up your audience, gain leads, and close out the sales. So if you don't know what to post on Instagram, I got 365 posts for you ready. You get 7 videos on how to turn your Facebook profile into a sales funnel. I've been able to use this technique, and last year I believe I grew my email by 16,000 just from this technique that I use here. How to create a successful Facebook fan page, that's 10 videos. How to create a Facebook group. I have experience growing groups. I did it for Mercedes Benz, over 100,000 members. My group right now has 74,000. They are very profitable, and I show you how to do that. You get an introduction to Facebook and Instagram ads, it's 17 videos, and you get 11 do it yourself digital products. You also get the course community, so you will have access to me. If you have any questions, I actually have a thread that's dedicated to me. You leave your questions there, I answer within minutes or 24 hours or less. So you get all of this, which is a total of over 1,800 because you're doing the workshop for only $60. So wanted to kind of give you a outline of everything. And now what I wanted to do is go ahead and answer any questions you have. Keep in mind, the question isn't if you'll make your money back, is how many times over you will be able to do it. So I wanted to go ahead and answer any questions. I know Ashley has been monitoring the questions. I see some here. So I don't know if I should just jump in and answer them, but I'll wait for her.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for that, Nancy. And Marie is noting here my thoughts as well, which is looks like a really well structured course with a ton of value. So thank you for kind of breaking that down for everybody, so they know what they have access to.
Yes.
we have had a handful of questions come in, and
Okay.
I think there are a few that I was able to answer, but I'm also just curious to hear your thoughts on. We had some folks who were asking about your Etsy shops and how you're, and can we use this as an example? So would love to just kind of hear you talk a little bit about your own your own thinking in building the Etsy shop that you have managed over the years.
Yes, I'm sorry. The first part when you were asking me, it got cut off. So I do apologize. So your question was to talk a little bit more about how I have been able to manage my Etsy stores.
Yeah. So yeah, we had a couple folks who were just like, oh, we want to see Nancy's shop and see how she does it.
Yeah, for me, one thing I've learned is that in the beginning, when I was starting out as an Etsy coach, it was like, learning how to manage everything. So what I have learned is one, bashing is your best friend, bashing out stuff, and then blocking out time. That works really, really well for me. So what I have learned is that, in the slow months, like for my wedding store, the busiest time is like March to like August. So from September it starts to kind of die off. So on the slower months, what I normally do is that's when I focus on, okay, what do I need to get rid of that's not working, what's not selling? And a cool advice I would give everyone, I just revealed this like just maybe like 4 months ago, and everybody's like, I never thought about doing that. What I do is I created a lookbook. I know it sounds crazy. It took me a lot of time to create this idea. But what I did was I had a lot of listings. And I got to the point that I was like, a lot of these listings are not performing well. So what I did was I created a whole bunch of wedding invitations. The ones that were selling, I created a robust line of those products. The ones that are not selling, I took off because it's just pointless. And then what I did was I created technically the same product with just different fonts and different flowers and different design. And I created a lookbook for each collection. So basically, I do a lot of upsells. A lot of my sales come from upsells. So customer will buy one item, I give them the lookbook, and a lot of times, like 7 out of 10, they'll come back and buy like 5 more
Be like,
items.
we want some more of that.
Yeah, so what I did was to kind of give you guys an idea. I went to Canva. This is easy to do. Anyone could do it. I went to Canva. I
Love
created a
Canva.
lookbook of that design, whatever, design. I love Canva too. Whatever design they purchased. And I created like, here's the table number that goes with the tags, and here's the sitting chart that goes with the wedding sign. And I created a little book with all the pictures, and I did a hyperlink on each picture. And I also put the link on the bottom as well, just in case. So what they do now is when they buy from me, because I sell digital products, I used to sell candles too, by the way, for those that want to know if I have experience in shipping stuff. I did, but my husband had brain surgery, cancer, and I had to stop that store. And that's the reason why. But
Wow,
that's a
yeah.
long story. But going back to the lookbook. So what I do is that when somebody buys, like, let's say a wedding sign from me, I'll send them the proof, they approve it. And once I finish the order, I send them the final file. And then I say, hey, by the way, thank you so much for your business. Here's a link to the lookbook in case you find other stuff that you might like. That's it. You don't be pushy, don't be spammy about it. They're either gonna click on it or not click on it. But guarantee you,
Right.
majority of them will click on it because they want to see. And then when they click on it, they see the other 60 items that go with that product. And then
How easy you've made it for them, and how
exactly.
frictionless. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So if you sell stuff that's matching, whether it's like earrings, the earrings that go with the matching bracelet, that go with the matching ring, do that. Create a lookbook for each design and send it to that customer. That way, or email them to them as well. I do that as
Mhm.
well. I email something like, I'll be like, oh, it's fall, this style is really popular in fall, and I send that email out. It's corny, but it works.
No,
And you get a
I
lot of
love that.
and I get a lot of upsells. And another thing is just really, really looking at your products and don't think, oh, my products are not good enough. Just think about, okay, this is not selling. Look at your Etsy stats. I always say, I got this from someone else. I don't remember who, but data over drama. Look, because we get so involved with our products. Like, look at your
Uh-huh.
Etsy stats and be like, okay, this is converting really well. I didn't think this would, but the one that I wanted to
But
convert is not. And
isn't,
then make the
yeah.
changes that you need to and learn, and just always look at your metrics and think about different ways that you could stand out from other people. And that's has been my number one thing, the lookbook. I kid you not.
So, okay, I'm hearing several of the things that you're saying are very interesting, and I want to invite everyone in the audience, if you have additional questions that you want to share with Nancy, please drop those in the comments now. Jershelle, I see yours, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But before we do, what I'm hearing you say, Nancy, is one, there are ways that you can give your audience more cues about what it is that the value that you're providing them. So in your
Yeah.
case, it's a lookbook, which, oh, if somebody is interested in this particular design for an invitation, then you make it easier for them to see how that invitation fits in this broader visual, aesthetic of
Mm-hmm.
a particular
Mm-hmm.
design, which, as somebody who has been thinking a lot about this recently, oh man, that's such a lovely thing, because I have 10 billion things on my mind and I don't want to have to go and search through a bunch of stuff. And now I've
Mm-hmm.
had this pleasant experience with Nancy with the invitations. So of course I'm going to click on this thing to see what else she's got that fits this look that I've chosen.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
which is great. That's a lovely way to think about it, by like, what else can I do to decrease friction for my audience? Uh,
Exactly.
which is a really great way to put that. There's also another thing that you didn't, I don't know that you mentioned that you were intending to frame it this way, but mentioning that you used to sell candles and you had this experience at home where, your husband's surgery and illness
Mm-hmm.
made your life look a little bit different, right? And
Yeah.
probably a
Mm-hmm.
lot different.
Mm-hmm.
But rather than kind of closing a door where you've spent a lot of time gaining knowledge and insights, you found a way to adjust
Mm-hmm.
how you presented your shop and how you engaged with your audience so that it
Mhm.
actually fit within your life.
Exactly.
Which is,
Exactly.
I think that's so important and such a common thing. We get overwhelmed, and
Oh
all of
yeah.
a sudden life happens, and then it,
Mhm.
it can seem like, oh, maybe this is just too much right now. But you're
Exactly.
modeling a really great example of, well, it might be too much to have candles and shipping items in your
Yeah.
garage,
Yeah.
but
Uh-huh.
you could do something else instead, right?
Exactly. And I always tell people like um you could always start with digital products, like just selling the digital product by itself. And once you feel more confident, you feel like your designs are getting better, you feel more comfortable, you could escalate and now say, okay, I want to do I want to integrate another company to do like print on demand. You could always
Mm,
move on to that later. But the
I love that.
flexibility that you get with digital products is that there's no shipping, there's no inventory. You can sell the product over and over again.
Mhm.
Um, it's just a great place to start, especially if you're like me, that I'm not good at anything. Like even the candle, my niece was helping me with, and I was
I
interested
beg
in
to
doing that, and
differ,
I
but
didn't realize
okay.
how much work that is. But
Yeah, yeah.
for me, it was easier to start with digital products. And then the more I did it, the more creative I became. Because that's another thing. I used to think I'm not creative enough to do wedding stuff. Like they're so pretty. And what I realized is that a lot of it, you're buying licensing graphic designs
Mhm.
from these beautiful independent artists that sell them. And
Right.
then as long as you create something unique and different and your final product is yours, you're just not taking a whole bunch of people's stuff and trying to sell it as your own. As long as you make it unique and different and you make something out of it, it's so easy.
There's an audience there.
For sure, for
Yeah.
sure. Hmm.
So okay, a couple folks are asking about the offer that you have for the course, and so they're not to maybe like Jershelle and Ella are asking, like, how long does this last? Do you have to accept the offer right now, or will it be available for a day or two? So can you just speak a little bit to how how the special offer that you've shared with us today will play for the rest of the week?
Yeah, it should play for the rest of the week. I know that on before when I've done workshops with Teachable, you guys leave it for like a week or
Mhm.
so. So you guys still have a couple days to get it. The nice thing about it, even if you buy it today and you're not ready to start, it's a self-paced course. So once you buy it, you could start, like you could buy it today and start next week if you want
Start at
to.
any time.
So you could secure the price and then you don't lose out. In addition to that, it doesn't expire. I haven't changed it to that yet. So it will be lifetime access to the course. So that should help as well.
Which is so lovely. And then Sincita is asking, and we might have just covered this a little bit,
Okay.
but Sincita wants to sell digital prints of original paintings and drawings. So in your course, you go into excuse me, a bit of the logistics for how to kind of um, shape a shop that sells digital prints and art, right?
Yeah, you should be fine because how I set the structure of the course is that the course is for anyone that wants to sell on Etsy. So I teach you how to find your niche. So she already has her niche. How to find profitable keywords. So you'll know how to do that. How to market yourself on Etsy. You'll know how to do that.
Right.
How to do a niche statement. You'll know how to do that. Um, how to upload your listings, things that you should know. So everything from that perspective, because you already have your own products, is you're good. Now if you are just starting on Etsy and you want to learn how to create digital products, the ins and outs of creating digital products, the licensing, what's considered a product that you could sell on Etsy, etc., I do have like that one module that I talked about that gives you step by step by step. But for someone that, like this young lady that has her own products already, then you don't necessarily have to do module 4. That's more for people that want to learn how to create digital products. You would just follow the regular modules that walk you through on how to start, manage, and grow your store. And then once you're ready to expand, Then you could do Pinterest, the Pinterest course. So you could start expanding your digital footprint. And once you're comfortable with that, then maybe you can move on to Instagram or the other courses that I offer to kind of expand your digital footprint and have a business that you're not only selling on Etsy, but or driving traffic for just from Etsy, but you're driving traffic from your Instagram account, your Pinterest, and other platforms as well.
Right. So it's cool. It's kind of like you get lifetime access to a university course catalog, and you can take the beginner level if that's where you are, or if you've already covered some of that 101 level stuff, and you can start in the middle and continue to build on after that.
Exactly. And another thing good is that I'm updating the courses all the time.
Oh,
So right
cool.
now I'm in the process of updating. I actually updated the Etsy mastery course in the beginning of the year.
Nice.
And now I'm updating Pinterest because things are constantly changing all the time
Yeah.
online. So
okay, so Lori's asking, and I'm gonna phrase this in maybe an ambitious way, but if somebody were to go, do the entirety of the course, so they want to start at the very beginning and then take in all of the Instagram and Pinterest additional content, what would be, how long might that take?
oh my God. To be honest, what I try to do in the course is that I don't have no introductions. I just go straight to how to, the key elements of a Pinterest pin that drives clicks. And I kind of go through the lesson, because if I do an intro and then an outro, then it, make the video too long. So the videos range from like 2 minutes, some are like 24 minutes, because I'm teaching you how to find profitable tags, and that's more, more work behind it. I would say the Etsy course is about 12 hours, and that's the first 6 modules. The other modules I haven't really counted, but if I had to count, maybe the total 25 hours, give or take. I could be wrong, but that's just from top of my head. I have so many videos.
It's evolving. Yes.
It's a lot of videos. And the actual course has like 40 videos. The Pinterest course by itself has 48 videos. Instagram 21. So if you start adding them, it's like, oh my God, how many hours?
So you could go and Lori, if you want to, you can go and get your degree in Nancy Badillo's Etsy mastery class, Pinterest mastery class.
But there's some people that binge watch it, and they're like, within a couple weeks, they're done. I'm like, okay, they're fast.
All right.
So, or they know the majority of the stuff they already know, but they want to learn more about SEO, or they already know this part, but they want to go jump into this part. So,
well, I love the flexibility and the different types of options that you're providing, which is great for people who are in all different phases of their Etsy seller journey. I know we are out of time, but so please, audience, join me in thanking Nancy for this incredible session today.
Thank you, guys.
We went on quite a journey, and now understand the vocabulary that it's helpful to know when you're trying to set up a robust shop, right? Being able to think intentionally about what is the value that I'm providing as a seller that my audience doesn't have access to elsewhere, right? Even if you're making a product that is similar to others that are available, you can always find ways to demonstrate to your audience that you are providing something unique.
Exactly.
Which is a great way to frame that up. And then go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to tap into what you said. Sometimes it's not so much like reinventing the wheel and like trying to create something like brand new. Look at what other people are selling that's trending or that is selling, and make it better.
And make it better. Yeah, you don't have to reinvent. I let you can put your own spin on some of the stuff that's out there and working. I just dropped the link to Nancy's course in the chat one final time, so feel free to check that out. Also, this replay should be available. It'll take a minute to kind of upload, but you should be able to access it from the Discover YouTube channel, which you're watching right now. The link to Nancy's course is also available there. So definitely like and subscribe to this channel. And if you enjoy content like this, where we have amazing creators like Nancy coming on and just giving away their their wisdom. If you subscribe, and we'll let you know when folks like Nancy are back and have more information to share. Really appreciate everybody joining us today. Nancy, thank you so much. This is just a terrific exploration into what it takes to become a successful Etsy seller.
Really, thank you, everyone. I apologize for my voice, and thank you for taking the time to come and watch the workshop. I really appreciate it.
We will see you all soon. Have a great rest of your day, evening, night, morning, whatever it is. Thanks for joining us, and take care, everyone.
Thank you, guys.